because we have to close by 1 o'clock. And hopefully some of you may be interacting after this class. So now the second lecture, I would like to touch upon what are the where India stands in terms of attaining sustainable development goals globally, and within the country, what is the status of attaining the sustainable goals, and which states are leading and which states are lagging. So, and in India, National Indicator Framework of Niti Ayoga, they came out with the National Indicator Framework and developed the indicators. As I told you, that the indicators, the global indicators, majority of the global indicators are accepted as they are, but there are some indicators which are modified. But to those who are interested, you can go through the reports that I have shared with them to circulate with you. So, and this is of course the latest Sustainable Development Goals India, and 1920 first time they have released. So, Global Vision of Sustainable Development. So, as I told you, Brundtland Commission report. So, since then we are moving from Millennium Development Goals to Sustainable Development Goals. So why they are unique? Sustainable development goals are unique, as again I am repeating, they are very unique because they talk about the interconnectedness. And the sustainable development goals, why, 1 minute. Yeah. So they are unique. Why they are unique? Because they talk about the interconnectedness. They don't try to solve the problem as standalone. So they try to address the related aspects so that the development continues, the sustainable development takes place. So, and sustainable, as I told you, poverty is linked to education, and which is linked to gender equality, and which in turn connects to health, employment, climate action. So all these are interconnected. So if you take household as a unit, so there also every individual is affected by some of this, like poverty of course affects everybody, and education. So what I'm trying to tell is sustainable development goals are very unique. Why? Because they talk about the interconnectedness of challenges. Here, what is interconnected is challenges are interconnected, not people. Challenges means the issues are interconnected. Poverty is not just only lack of income. Poverty is linked to so many things. Poverty is linked to lower levels of education, and poverty is linked to gender equality. And in low income families where the resources are limited, girls may not get opportunity to go to higher education like computer science and all, which are more expensive. So means it leads to gender inequality, and also that will lead to what is called the health and access to health and employment. There is a whole lot of literature on how poverty and gender inequality are interconnected. So here the issue is that what sustainable development goals identified is that the issues are interconnected. So because of that, we need to have a system approach. And poverty is linked to education, as I told you, which is linked to gender equality, and which in turn connects to health, employment, and climate change. They offer a shared global agenda, but their success depends deeply on local relevance and action. This is also very important. So, as you are observing, these issues are there. They are there everywhere, and they offer a shared global agenda. Means all these issues are need to be addressed by several of the countries. It should be the shared global agenda. But even though it is a shared global agenda, the meaning of shared global agenda is every country has kind of issues like this. So they offer a shared global agenda, but their success depends on local relevance and action. See, each like in certain countries, poverty may be a big issue. Maybe in some countries, maybe environment is an issue. In some countries, social relevance is an issue. And in some countries, institutions may be an issue. So like that, the local relevance, not all 17 goals are, we can call it 16, 17 is only partnerships. So not all goals are equally relevant to the countries. So depending on the local situation, depending on the local environment and local situation, the goals, the relevance may be different. In some states, in some countries, certain dimensions may be more relevant. So depending on the relevance, the actions will be taken by the government, policy actions will be taken. So where does India stand? India, of course, it is a global, it's a very important role it is playing. So national development goals are well aligned with these SDGs. So what happened is we have our national goals, attaining literacy, improving the literacy level, gender equity. We have certain national goals. They are aligned with the sustainable development goals. And Government of India also has introduced several schemes like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Beti Bachao, and Jal Jeevan Mission. These are there are many such schemes, and they are all aligned with the sustainable development goals. There are quite a few papers which look at the connectivity between the sustainable development goals and the local goals or the government agenda. So Niti Aayog Sustainable India Index brought into attention the state level progress. See, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu have shown commendable achievements. So, this localization of SDG is a step in the right direction, but challenges remain. So, this localizing the sustainable development goals is a very important thing. It is good, but there are certain challenges. So, now I am talking about the attainment of sustainable development goals, where India stands, where each state stands. See, for example, this is the composite index of sustainable development goals. So, sustainable development goals, yeah, I'm not getting into the methodological part of it, how we arrive at the sustainable development index. Little bit about indicators I will talk about later. But because that itself is, we need 2 to 3 classes to actually tell you how to arrive at the sustainable development index. It is an indicator, but here I am talking about the sustainable development goals, how far we have achieved, and also the goal wise also performance also I will give. Composite index, what is the composite index? Composite index of sustainable development goals. So this composite index is a composite of all the goals, attainment of all the goals together. It tells that where the country stands and where the different states stand. So for the sake of to tell you about the progress towards sustainable development, I have collected data of sustainable composite goals of 2019 and also the latest report of 23-24. So you can see on the screens that this green color is front runners. So front runners means here you can see this. So those have attained between 65 to 99%. So states which have assigned, which have attained 65% to 90% of the sustainable development goals. So they are in this green color. And performer, those which have attained 50 to 64% are in this. And aspirant states are red, which have achieved less than 50%. So in the overall index, you can see that there is a certain progress, quite a bit of progress has been made from 2019 to 23-24. So the number of green colors, so the number of front runners which have achieved more than 65%, the number has increased. Several states have jumped from this yellow region to green region. So all these regions were in yellow and now they became green. In yellow still we have Meghalaya, Nagaland, Jharkhand and Bihar. So northeastern states and Bihar still they are in the performance there where there is less than 50% it has been achieved. So if you look at all India level we have attained 60, it was a 60% attainment in 2019 and now it has increased to 71% of attainment at the all India level. But if you look at different states, many states have moved from the to front runner. So all these states have become performer to front runner, and the remaining are union territories. If you look at union territories, you will find a dramatic change. See, in union territories, in 2019, only 2 union territories were in the front runner, means more than 65, and many are in the performer category. But whereas by 2019, 23-24, all the union territories have come into what is called the front runner, that is 65 to 95% they have reached, attained. This is the overall picture. You can see we still had, this is all goals together, 2018 and 2019, and I will come to this. So now we will go by what is called the goal wise.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 2 ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರಂತೆ. 35 ಇದ್ದವರಿಗೆ 37, 34 ಇದ್ದವ್ರು 36 ಟೋಟಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪುಷ್ ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರ.
So we will come to this.
Evaluation ಮಾಡಿ.
Please mute your this one mic. So now for sustainable development goal 1. In sustainable development goal 1 is reducing poverty. So there also we have made quite a bit of progress. So earlier in 2019, so many states are, including Karnataka. Including Karnataka, it has attained less than 50% of the, it has attained goal number 1. But whereas by 2024, 23-24, many have crossed this from red to green, and but still Bihar and Arunachal Pradesh, there, you know, still it is less than the 50%. So this is about the poverty goal. And whereas hunger, that is a sustainable development goal 2, is reducing the hunger. Zero hunger is the objective. In zero hunger, what you have to understand, observe is that still so many states have not attained the zero hunger. In still, so I mean, not 100% attainment. So many states less than 50% they have attained. See, overall country average itself is 52%. But these states, they have not yet reached even 50% of the goal. And still we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Maharashtra, Odisha, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and Bihar. They are still in the red, that is not even 50% is attained in this. See, for example, Bihar only 24% is attained. And whereas Madhya Pradesh, it is 48%. So from where Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, from 24, it has climbed a little bit to present 46, but still there is much to be desired. And among union territories, 3 union territories were in red, that is less than 50%, and it has come down up to only Dadra Nagar Haveli is in red. So, but whereas good health and well-being. So I will explain to you how these things have come about. First, to appreciate this, where we stand. Why I choose to make it later is because after understanding this, you will know how these numbers are about. So, for example, good health and well-being. In good health and well-being, many countries have, many states have attained a better situation. In good health and well-being goal, SDG goal, 4 states were in red, but now they also have come into the more than 50% category. But quality education, this is also another worrying thing for us. In terms of quality education, still the same, Madhya Pradesh, Nagaland, Assam, Meghalaya, Odisha, Bihar, these states still they have not attained 50%. And even overall country is also, it is only 61%. So that is the situation when in terms of attaining the sustainable development goals. That is the 4th goal, that is the quality of education. In quality of education, still some states are, still many states are in aspirant stage only. But whereas gender equality, this is also another area of concern. So gender equality, in gender equality, many states and many union territories were in less than 50% range, but some of them have crossed. Some states have crossed to more than 60% range, but still we have so many states in gender inequality. Say, for example, Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, Haryana, Manipur, Tripura, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha. In all these states, they have not attained even 40, 50%. So they are all below the 50%. So not even national average. National average is 49. And of course, some of them have reduced. Union territories, some of them, for example, Chandigarh and Dadra Nagar Haveli, they are still in red. Whereas some states, for example, Jammu Kashmir, Lakshadweep, Pondicherry, Puducherry, they have crossed from red to the yellow. But whereas in clean water and sanitation, it gives a better picture. In clean water and sanitation, 100%. Goa has attained 100%, and Andaman Nicobar also has attained 100%. And many states are have better than 50%. And all India level also, it has attained higher grade, 89%. So that means, in terms of clean water and sanitation, we have achieved better results in our development towards sustainable development goals. So affordable and clean energy. In terms of affordable and clean energy also, even Lakshadweep also has crossed 50%. So in terms of affordable and clean energy, it is interesting to observe that many states have attained 100%. Say, for example, Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Karnataka is also there. Many states have attained 100% sustainable development goals. They have attained 100%. So, in terms of affordable and clean energy, and many states are doing well in terms of attainment. Okay, and but decent work and economic growth. In terms of decent work and economic growth also, so states have performed better. There is a reduction in some states which were in red. They also have turned into yellow. And but here they have not reached. No state has reached the 100%. And the country average itself is decent work and economic growth, which is a very, very important indicator which contributes to individual well-being. So that as we have attained only 58% on the country, the country as a whole. But still in some states, for example, Bihar, we have reached only 54% attainment. So Meghalaya, it is only 57%. So only Himachal Pradesh and Karnataka is next to the top. So in decent work and economic growth, it has attained 86% sustainable development growth. So I was telling in the morning about the innovation and industry and innovation infrastructure. Industry and innovation infrastructure are very, very important for the attainment of sustainable development goals, or to make the growth sustainable. So as I told you, sustainable development goals are their indicators, but we aim at attaining the sustainable development, and we use these goals to see where we have reached. So here in industry, innovation and infrastructure, you will find that though there is a reduction in the states from red to, there's a reduction in the number of states in red, but still it is 61%, and only in some states the industry and innovation infrastructure is better. In several states, it is not so. So we are lagging behind in innovation and infrastructure also. But inequalities, reduced inequalities also, there is some reduction, but here also we have some states which are in red. And sustainable cities and communities. So in sustainable cities and communities, we observe here, Chandigarh has reached 100%. It has attained the goal of sustainable cities and communities 100%. Whereas Maharashtra also 95%, Gujarat also 94%. So some states are actually leading, But you also have states like Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and also Ladakh, because of their terrain or what. So the sustainable, they have a long way to go to attain the sustainable development goal. So whereas the consumption and production, in terms of sustainable consumption and production, there is a reduction in red states in red, and the sustainable consumption and production, for example, Tripura, Nagaland, Northeast. Northeast actually there, you find Northeast lagging behind, but now here in Tripura and Chhattisgarh, they are doing well in sustainable consumption and production. So, and whereas climate action, also there is a reduction in the number of states which are red in color to the number of states have come down, but still there are many in the among the Union territories, the climate action is low. But whereas life below water, I told you marine fisheries and such kind of resources. So that comes under what is called a life below water, and how they are used, how sustainably they are used. So in this index, there is an improvement, and earlier 3, 4, 5, because this data is only for those who have marine resources, only those states which have access to this marine resources. So that is why we have less number of states here. But the states which are in red, now they became yellow, means there is an improvement in the sustainability of life below water in this thing. Next, life on land. So life on land also, you will find that there is an improvement. But it is interesting to observe that life on land, Manipur has attained 100%. Manipur and Sikkim, they have attained sustainable use of resources. So they have attained 100%. But they have only one Ladakh, you will find that life on land has not reached the 100%. So peace, justice, and strong institutions. In peace, justice, and strong institutions, there is an improvement, and many states have moved from yellow, they came down to green. So now I will explain to you. Now, now you know that in certain indicators, in certain goals, our country is performing well, whereas in certain goals, our country is long way to go. So, for example, in terms of gender inequality, there is a long way to go, and sustainable employment, there is long way to go. So, in certain goals, so that is why I want to explain to you what went into the preparation of this. See, when you say that poverty, poverty means what? What and all is covered under the poverty. So you will find that in the making of poverty. So these two are the resources. Those who want, you can also go through them. So this ending poverty is as a goal. These are the indicators. See, that is the proportion of population living below the national poverty, coverage of, they have taken into consideration many things. That is like coverage of new pension scheme, and population living in households with access to basic services, percentage of households living in kacha houses, and government spending on essential services, and proportion of budget earmarked for gender budget, all are taken care, the measures taken care for ending poverty. So in those measures, and in how many people have joined, where the country is, how much country has attained. So these are the indicators that are taken into consideration for the indicator, that is what is called end poverty in all its forms everywhere. That was the objective of the first goal, ending poverty in all its form everywhere. So here you will find that we had the central India completely red it was. So it has come down, this green color has increased considerably. So earlier green color was only so much. See now 23, 24, it has come down very well. But still you will find, even earlier also we have seen, in northeastern states, they are yet to reach. They are to this red color is aspirants. 0 to 50% only they have attained. 50 to 45% is yellow. 50 to 50 to 65. This is 0 to 50, less than 50%. They are yet to reach. So, and similarly, hunger. We have seen that hunger, food security also, we have a long way to go. That is end hunger, achieve food security and improved nutrition and promote sustainable. As I told you, poverty has a direct link with the sustainable development. So efforts to reduce hunger. See, why I have given these indicators is, we have several programs. Government of India introduced several programs to address these issues. So, and after this, where we are, after all these efforts. So, so this is about the hunger. So, all these indicators, data has been collected about all these indicators and arrived at the indicator Sustainable Development Goal 2. So, what and all has gone into the making of Sustainable Development Goal 2 is, so these are the things. So, everything they have considered, gross value added in agriculture, and a percentage of farmers issued soil health. So, and also conservation of fish, genetic resources, and agriculture orientation index. So, everything they have considered which has an impact on reducing the hunger. So, and this index, still so many states are less than 50%. They are yet to attain, they have attained less than 50%. Still, in this one, overall score improved from 47 to 52, but still this central India, so still there is hunger and say insecurity, food security. So similarly, healthy lives. We have seen that in terms of health, we have attained better situation. So overall, we have attained 77%. Score is 77 out. 100 is the target to reach. So we have reached the 77 in terms of health, healthy lives, and promote well-being. So you'll be wondering, what is this healthy life and well-being? So if you look at this, you will know what and all has gone into this making. So here we have percentage of currently married women, what is called percentage of institutional births, percentage of currently married women using contraceptives, and coverage of essential health services. So budgetary allocation and health worker density, government spending, so international health regulations. So all these indices are 38 indices are taken. 38 indicators are taken to arrive at ensure healthy lives and promote well-being. So India attained 77 reasonably better in terms of attaining the goal number 3, Sustainable Development Goal 3. But whereas equitable and education, if you see education, still we have so many states in red. That is Central India. We have seen Madhya Pradesh, Northeast, we have seen. So some of these states are still, so in terms of ensuring equitable and quality education also, still we have a long way to go, because we have achieved only 61%. Still long way to go to reach 100%. 100, the target of 100 score, we have reached only 61 score level. Because, when they calculate, how they do it is, they collect data on all these indicators and they will normalize it and they will arrive at the score. So when score is higher, score means higher attainment, lower score means lower attainment, and score should reach 100 if everything is achieved. So in terms of inclusive, equitable, quality education, we have attained only 61 score. Still we have a long way to go, and in some states it is less than 50%. 0 to 50% are these states in terms of education. But whereas here, this is the issue, gender inequality. Achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls is one of the goals of Sustainable Development Goals. See, because gender equality is very important for sustainable development. That is how it is also included in the Sustainable Development Goals as Sustainable Development Goal 5. So here you'll be wondering what is this gender equality. So all these things went into the to understand how much gender equality has been achieved. So you see, in gender equality score, we have attained only 49. Still not even 50. All over the country, we have not attained even 50. Many states are between 50 and 65. These are the states between 50 and 65. And less than 50, these are the states which are in less than 50. And only in Kerala, you see this small piece. So only in this small piece, it has attained more than 65. More than 65 score is attained only in Kerala. So all these things went into the empowerment index, that is achieving gender equality. So here you see percentage of women and girls subjected to sexual violence, experience of sexual crimes, and crime against girls and children, and trafficking of girl children, and child sex ratio, that is how many females are there per 1,000 males. It is one of the indicators of gender equality. But because of son preference, we have less number of girls than boys, because girls are being killed before they are born. So these things, all these indicators, percentage of women having an account at a formal financial institution, percentage of women employed in IT and IT services, so number of ministries having gender budget, all these indicators put together, arriving at the Sustainable Development Goal 5. So it is still long way for us to go, because we have attained only 45. And of course, here we have seen clean water and sanitation, we are doing better. Affordable clean environment also we have done better, because in almost in the affordable clean environment, what they have considered is percentage of households electrified, percentage of households using clean cooking fuel, that is LPG, and renewable energy sources, because now government is promoting renewable energy, solar energy, renewable energy has been promoted everywhere. So because of that, in reaching goal 7, we have attained 96 score. And in terms of clean water and sanitation, we have attained 89 score. So these two are the stars of the Sustainable Development Goal attainment for us. And 7, 8. 8 is economic growth, full productive employment. This is also decent work. In decent work also we have attained, to some extent we have attained this one, but still we have a long way to go in. But if overall index is only 68. See, promoting sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment. See, what is happening is, here we have attained only score 68. So even though our employment numbers are increasing, but our employment is not generating high value. In the sense, the jobs are not in high value producing jobs. So that is why our score is only 68. But whereas clean water and affordable, this is done, I think. Yeah. So gender equality is also over. Then building resilient infrastructure, inclusive industrialization. So this is urban industrialization. So here again, we have attained only 61. Still in so many states, not even 50% is attained. So here this is promoting inclusive, sustainable industrialization and fostering innovation. So in fostering innovation, we are not doing well. So still so many states are in debt. So what has gone into this is CO2 emissions, energy use intensity, research and development expenditure, and gross value addition. So these are some of the indicators that have gone into this. So here the point is, still some states are not attained even 50%. So similarly, inequality within and among, this is of course global indicator, but here reduce inequality within the states, we can call it as states. So here, here also the indicators are ratio of female workers to male workers, proportion of seats held by women, so Gini coefficient, these are the indicators. So here also still we have some states which have got, so overall index is only 65. So yeah, this is urbanization, make cities inclusive, safe and resilient. So here also still we have states which are in red, which have not attained, and score, overall score is 83. But here, only certain pockets are not very, they have not attained the higher SDG. So ensuring sustainable consumption. In sustainable consumption and production, we are better, because here, the indicators are the per capita food availability, percentage of wards with 100% source segregation, and number of municipal corporations, banning single-use plastic, proportion of companies publishing sustainability report. So these are some of the sustainability indicators indicating sustainable consumption and production both. So here we are better than the other indicators. So climate change. In climate change also we still have got to, but these are the indicators that went into the calculation of the climate change. So conserve and sustainable use of oceans. See here I don't have the figure, but numbers are there in the earlier this one, but these are the indicators. These are the indicators that went into the calculation of Sustainable Development Goal 14, that is marine resources. Clean water and why we got 6? What happened? Reduce, yeah, make cities livable. Promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem. So in terms of terrestrial ecosystem also, only this Kashmir and such places it is less, but otherwise we have attained better. And this is important, peaceful and inclusive societies, access to justice, and build effective, accountable and inclusive institutions at all. So here also they have given some of the indicators, proportion of SC/ST persons in the elected bodies, percentage of births registered, some of the indicators they have taken. See, and if you look at that is the Indian situation, but if you look at the overall situation, that is, if you look at the world, in 9 out of 16 sustainable development goals, India has a lower score than the global average. So where does India stand in terms of global numbers is in 9 indicators, we are lower than the world. And also in Sustainable Development Goal 2, that is zero hunger, and all the Sustainable Development Goal 2, 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16, in all these 9 indicators, we are below the score of global average. But whereas 8 states and union territories have not reached even half of the target under the zero hunger, Sustainable Development Goal 2, zero hunger. Bihar and Maharashtra are the home to 24% of India's population. These states are there, 8 states and union territories we have written. So within that, Bihar and Maharashtra are there, and Bihar and Maharashtra, 24% of the India's population lives there. So means, it will affect those 24% of our Indian population. So whereas 12 states and 2 union territories have not reached even half of the target under gender equity. We have seen both the graphs, and also gender equity is an issue. So where 12 states and 2 union territories, they have not reached even half of the target. So they are I mean, in these states, these 12 states include Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh. All these put together, they cover 45% of India's population. So means for 45% of India's population, we have not reached not even 50% of the sustainable development goal. So, and 4 states and 5 union territories have not reached even half of the target under Sustainable Development Goal 13. So, these states and union territories include Bihar, West Bengal, Delhi. Almost 23% of the population are there, but they have not reached the half of the target under Sustainable Development Goal 13. See, this is summarizing what and all you have seen earlier as graphs. This is summarizing the whole thing. And what are the key challenges? Key challenges, why we are like this? What is the problem? So the key challenges are poverty and inequality. So absolute poverty has declined. Inequality, especially spatial, gender, and caste-based, remains deeply enriched. See, if you look at poverty, in numbers, it must have come down, but there is so much of inequality between spatial, that is regions. Like if you take Karnataka, Northern Karnataka and Southern Karnataka, there is so much difference. So similarly, gender, more women are poor compared to men because their wages are low, their salaries are low, they are employed in informal sector. So there is a wage gap. And caste-based also you find a lot of inequality. This is one challenge. Then health and education. So health and education is in life expectancy and school enrollment, we face a lot of issues. That is malnutrition and digital divide continues to affect millions. See, for example, in private schools, they have all the facilities, whereas in government schools, not even smart board in some schools. So this is a challenge for us to attain sustainable development goals 3 and 4. Whereas gender equality, this is a real problem and we have a long way to go. So what the challenges in attaining the sustainable development goal 5, why we are not why we are not reaching the target is because female labor for participation is low and gender-based violence and access to reproductive rights require urgent and sustained action. There are, if I take up gender itself, you need some 2 to 3 classes to get into why we are lagging behind in gender equality. So, for example, labor force participation, female labor force participation is low, and gender-based violence, so much is being reported if you look at the crime bureau reports and all. So that is only reported, still unreported, so much is there. And access to reproductive rights. So access to reproductive rights, a girl can't decide when to have a child because for girls, her career and her reproductive cycle, they are exactly opposite. When her career is progressing, that time only she also has to take care of her reproductive responsibilities. So, and to say it is, these two are opposite, career progressing, and that time only you have to take care of the family responsibilities. So there is no much child care facilities. So because of all these things, we are not able to attain the gender equality. More women are not coming for work. More women are not in, we are lagging in gender equality. And climate action. Climate action, we have done, we are part of several global initiatives for climate change, from heat waves to water stress. Sustainability is not just a future concern, it's a present crisis. In case of climate action also, we need effort and decent work. Decent work is another sustainable development goal which needs immediate address because informal sector, in India we have large part of informal sector, and because of this informal sector, the wages are also low and there is uncertainty, and men and women working in this informal sector are in vulnerable jobs. So it is important to address this and create a decent job when demographic transition is taking place. It seems India, we have large number of young able bodies, those who are in working stage. But we are not able to provide them with productive jobs. So decent work is another important challenge India is facing in attaining the sustainable development goals. So what you and me can do, what are the role of academia in advancing the sustainable development goals? So we all have a role to play, and we are not here only for talking about the numbers and talking about the calculations. We all should become, higher education institutions, they should become what is called the agents of change. So when they can contribute to become agents of change, they can contribute in multiple ways. So one is research and policy engagement. So through evidence-based research, and we can contribute more. So for example, urban poverty, groundwater recharge, there are several areas, and it is possible to contribute. But you may be wondering where our words are heard, where we are not heard. But you should you should take up such kind of research projects and communicate it to the appropriate bodies. So, and curriculum integration, it need not necessarily at the national level or at the state level, even local level, at the panchayat level. It is possible for you to have and to influence people at the panchayat level when panchayat development plan is prepared. So, and second one is curriculum integration. So sustainable development goals can be because, as you know, these themes are related across different disciplines. So as I was telling, everybody can contribute for the attainment of sustainable development goals. Not only social sciences, engineering, medicine, humanities. Every discipline has got a role for making the development sustainable. So sustainable development goals related themes should be part of the curriculum. It is our responsibility to see to it that many people talk about the sustainable development in the curriculum. And third one is community engagement. So community engagement, see now because of NAC, everybody is talking about community engagement. In some places, it is called outreach program. Sometimes it is called extension program. But it is not only for social work students, MSW students, but every department should actively engage with the community. See, for example, in several of the Western universities, they have community engagement, and those boys and girls who are engaged in the community for promoting local interventions, they get some certificate, something like that. And similarly, some private universities, like for example, Ajim Premji University, they are very well engaged with the community. So by engaging with the community around their area, so it is possible to contribute to the attainment of sustainable development goals. So academic outreach must connect with the rural and urban communities, and participatory action research, field-based learning, and university community partnerships make the SDG real and relevant. See, what happens is, generally the understanding is that teachers are only to teach what is there in the textbook. Teachers are only to teach theoretical part of it, models, theory, and what is existing. But it is much more than that. And, in NEP is also has given a lot of importance for the community engagement. And by engaging with the community, it is, you will be contributing to the, recently I had been to one college for NAC visit, and there it is a degree college and fairly recent college, and it is started by SC community, and out of 26 teachers, 25 teachers are from SC community. Why I'm talking about this is they have adopted a village, and they say that we understand their issues, we understand the social exclusion of us by others, so we will do better. And they have adopted a village, which is a tribal village. And this tribal village, they are encouraging them to learn and also, I mean, adopt some clean practices. So by doing that, they are contributing to the attainment of sustainable development goals. And some of the youth there, they are so motivated that now they are going to school, continue their studies, and some of them have started thinking of using their tribal knowledge to prepare some useful things for the community. So that motivation came from the students of this college. So that kind of community engagement will be able to help in the attainment of sustainable development goals. So we have the responsibility to encourage students to that. So it's not that only art students should do, science students also can do. Say, for example, science students from earth science are, so they can go to nearby villages and see soil testing can be done, and what the farmers are using, how much fertilizer they are using, are they using more, are they using less, if is it possible to reduce it. So that it will have an impact on the environment, it will have an impact on the economic condition of the farmers, so it will have multiple effects. So, and I always tell one story about this. So don't ever think that what happens if I only do this. There are many more who are not doing it. So that should not be our thinking. See, this story goes like this. I think some of you must have heard me talking about this story earlier also. See, when Raja wanted to celebrate one function, so what he asked is, he asked all his people to contribute some milk. So what he did was, he put one closed enclosure. So, and asked everybody to go one by one, put the milk in that big, this one closed, it is closed. They can only put like hundi kind of a thing. So they can put and come. So one by one, everybody is going and doing it and coming back. So after, at the end of the day, when you open the door, open the this one hundi, so there was only water, there is no milk. So the meaning of this is, one thing is sincerity is tested, and second thing is, you think that you are the only one who is pouring water. No, everybody is thinking that they are only pouring water. So then entire thing is, there is no milk at all. So what it means is, you think that your action is not going to affect anybody, but certainly your action will make a difference. To bring that point, I am talking about this story. So one college, I mean, like your own area, you can work with the communities and promote the sustainable development. And data and evaluation, you can play a crucial role in developing localized indicators, building sustainable development boards, dashboards, because at the panchayat level they are not there. So one or two faculty can come together and they can do this. And youth leadership, so you will be talking to youth. Your students are with so much of potential and so much of energy. You can encourage them to look at the sustainable development goals, what they can contribute. So they must be empowered not only as beneficiaries but also as leaders and innovators. If they are encouraged to engage with the community, they will come out with some innovative ideas. I know in Netherlands, I have seen college students, they go to field and they will understand how the material is used, how certain instruments are used. They come to the lab and they innovate something and which will be very useful. It's not that they are not there. In India also, we have some institutions where such designs are developed based on the community needs. So that way youth leadership can contribute for the sustainable development. And of course, as I told you, there are some institutions which are practicing this community engagement, and certain rural universities are promoting sustainable agriculture and some institutes are integrating the sustainable development goals into their operation. See, now many of the colleges are implementing some of the interventions which are aiming at reaching the integrating with the sustainable development goals. For example, zero waste policy or renewable energy policy, and also some are making gender audits. So they are made part of the assessment. So that is how it is happening. And a collaboration with UN bodies and think tanks and NGOs for applied research. So that is also happening in India. So such initiatives, they are there. Such initiatives are there in some places, some corners of India, but they need to be scaled up, and they need institutional support and commitment and funding. So I remember several times, like, people have maybe having good intentions, but operationalizing them becomes difficult because institutional rigidities. So in institutional rigidities in the university setup, you are recruited for teaching, so you do that, and there may not be very much flexibility for changing the existing systems. So because of that also, or maybe the head at the decision making position may not be may not appreciate the kind of initiatives. So what is very important is these are to be institutionalized. So once they are institutionalized, whoever is there as head of the department or as head of the institution, they will continue it. So it is very important that such initiatives, wherever they are, they need to be scaled up, and they should be systematized and supported by the institutional commitment. So community engagement should be made part of the institutional engagement. So what are the way forward? So what should be our guiding principles to promote sustainable development? Because when I'm talking to you, I'm not talking only to one person. So it is talking to several, because you are the teachers and you go and talk to your students, and that is how actually it reaches many more people, and you will be able to transform the thinking and attitude. So guiding principles, what should be the guiding principles is interdisciplinarity. So as you know, the sustainable development goals are interconnected. So all our research and teaching must be interdisciplinary. So NEP is actually promoting interdisciplinary. Many people are talking about interdisciplinary, but it is not happening. But whereas, of course, in NEP, there is an option for the student to select other disciplines also to some extent. But when this interdisciplinarity is practiced at the teaching level, the students will get an access to the other discipline also. So further, when they become policymakers or the teachers or the researchers, so they will be able to practice it. So then localization. So this is also very important. So localization is recognize and respond to regional context and cultures. See, as I told you, localization is because some indicators may be relevant in some areas. So that needs to be identified in the regional context, cultures, say for example, tribal culture. So there the situation is different. So you need to localize the sustainable development parameters there, and inclusivity. So, and for sustainable development, it is important to include the marginalized voices, both in research and policy discourses. So, include that it becomes again participatory level, participatory method. So, you have to include people, those whose voices are not, means you may be wondering, as a teacher, what can I do? So as a teacher, what you can do is you can organize programs where these marginal voices are heard, and what comes out of that you can communicate it to the local level government. So then accountability. So it is important to look at the process or the accounting for the progress. That is accounting for you need reliable data and maintain transparency. See, reliable data comes from our efforts. It's not that every survey is reliable. So you need checks and balances to arrive at the reliable data. And last one is global solidarity. See, it is important to have a global knowledge. So it is important to look at, see, some people argue why we have to follow Western world. We have our own Indian system, we have our own Indian culture and all that. So I'm not saying that you should leave your Indian culture, but if there is anything good, you should adopt it. See, if you are engaged with the global knowledge systems, you will get to know how it is possible. For example, I told you, in at least one or two universities which I have seen, there is community engagement is part of their whole process. So, but that we can adopt that model, and there are courses designed for development, things like that. So we can adopt such things if we are open to global knowledge, but we have to act according to the local requirement. So for sustainable development, we should have access, or we should have open mind to engage with the global knowledge systems, but we should not adopt it as it is, and we should look at our local systems and use it within our local systems. So these are some of the ideas that I want to talk to you. And now we still have time. I quickly finished this because at least now I thought you will be talking to me. So in the case of indicators and in terms of progress, if you want to talk anything, you can let me know. Some of you can talk. Do you want to talk or don't want to talk? Computer science, Parasuram. Yeah, Parasuram has something to talk.
Madam, sustainability development, it's a vast topic, madam. So that things you explain within 2 hours means it's very difficult, madam. And so many concepts will there, madam. So many concepts.
Just one indicator itself, you need one session.
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
So you explain very nicely, madam. And so still we have 10 minutes, madam. So whatever you have to share your knowledge, you can share to us, madam.
Yeah. But at the same time, I want some of you also to talk, because is it possible? See, I have asked you that you should become part of promoting sustainable development, because you will be addressing so many students and you get more occasions to interact not only with students, but also with the community, but also with the local administration. Is it possible for the academia to contribute anything for the sustainable development in India?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
It is possible.
Yes, madam. It is possible, madam.
Don't you think that the system is very rigid? You may not get leave to go to field. You may not, your system may not permit for introducing one paper on participatory research methods, because I failed. I did that in several places. Yeah.
Yes, madam.
Do you think that it comes in the way, or it is possible in NEP? Is it possible to?
Yes, madam, it is possible.
Ma'am, there is only possibility of creating awareness among students about this sustainable development.
Yes.
To that extent, we can help.
Now that itself is the greatest contribution, I tell you. If you sensitize them, and if you clearly talk to them what it means, so certainly that will be a great contribution. Only teachers can do that. Okay. So don't think that it is a less contribution. It is contribution. Yes. Yeah. Anybody else?
Ma'am, today the people are like, they are regressively concentrating on urban places. That is, they are not focusing on agricultural, like our own backbone is agricultural, but now people are like earning money. Agriculture is not like sustainable field of our existence. So if it continues for the longer term, does it affect us adversely, ma'am?
Yeah, see, I was also talking about weak sustainability argument and strong sustainability argument. And at one point of time, people thought that world is coming to an end. So, such kind of, there used to be one book, I think I forgot the name. But anyway, so, but what happens is, as the economy is progressing, as the technology is progressing, as you promote more innovations, it is possible to come out with some innovations. So because of that, nothing is going to, I mean, it's not going to, I mean, it's not the end of our human race. See, I tell you, for example, you are talking about agriculture. Okay. So agriculture is not what it was. Agriculture used to be entirely different, and it used to be labor intensive. Now it is capital intensive, and one person is one plowing machine is enough. You don't have to spend so many hours. So it has an impact on the what is called the availability of labor within their local area. So because of that, people are girls and boys are migrating to the outside, and non-agricultural jobs they are doing. But still, because now agriculture is more intensive, and agriculture, you are spending less time on agriculture. So because of that, your yield remains the same. So it is not compromising on your what is called the availability of food. It is not compromising on the availability of food. But what needs to be taken care is, one of the sustainability development argument, I mean, goals is there. What needs to be taken care is, take care of the urban environment. So it is important to focus on urban environment when migration is taking place. So urban, because when cities develop without any proper plan, so it will lead to so many slums will develop, and so much of unhygiene, so much of crowd. So it is important to focus, and urban transportation will become a problem. So urban needs to be taken care. In the process, the priorities change. So that is how actually I told how the technology will help in reducing the fuel consumption when you go for four-stroke engine from this one. So it is, I mean, innovation will take place. World is not coming to an end because of the migration. That's what I want to put it to you. Some kind of innovations will take place. Still, it will be progressing. I don't know if you are happy with my answer, or if you agree with my logic or not, but I strongly believe that innovations will take place. New innovations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Earlier, people used to spend so much time on small things, which they look like small things and waste now. Don't you think? Some of you must be certainly thinking, earlier you used to spend a lot. Now the time is available, you spend on